Hello, everyone. One again, here with another guide. This time we're going to be talking about competing against Amazon as a seller. We get this question often. You'll get a mixed bag of reviews when you look online. So I wanted to give you my take and kind of the group's take on how to compete against them, if you should, when you should, and just what to look for when you're scanning products. So there's a few opportunities that Amazon gives you for when competing against them makes sense. I generally am one to compete against them majority of the time, but these in particular are going to be like, okay, let's go Amazon. I think I can still make some money. So let's jump into to look at what those are. So the first and maybe the most obvious is Amazon sells out. So there are products that Amazon just has a hard time keeping in stock. And this can be harder to predict if they've always been in stock. But there's using Keepa, we can kind of routinely see examples where if you go back over the last year, 2 years, there's these gaps where Amazon, maybe it's just based on their buying patterns or if it's seasonal and based on like there's just so many buyers over a certain period. They have these windows where they're in stock and then they're not. And oftentimes when Amazon goes out of stock or something, it's not for a day. It's generally for a couple of weeks, if not a few months. It really depends on the speed of their supply chain. So that chart in front of you is a great example of taking the opportunity to say, okay, I can buy this product at $20. Maybe you're in the store, maybe you even see it on Amazon and it's in stock. And you want to bank that Amazon is going to go out of stock. So even if Amazon's in stock when you send it in, the best time to actually send a product in like this is when Amazon is still in stock. If you can time the market, if you're convinced that Amazon's going to go out of stock again, and you don't mind sitting on that product for a little bit. So for example, like if you send this product in June, and we can see June right here. So let's say like, oh yeah, they were out of stock here. You felt like for whatever reason, maybe last year the whole summer was just a problem. So you predicted that it was going to happen again this year. So you took advantage of this middle area and said, all right, I'm going to buy some units at $20 because I'm really confident that Amazon's going to go out of stock, or you found it retail or whatever. You sent it in even when Amazon was still in stock. So you were kind of competing against Amazon at that time. Um, but you were convinced and you bet the market correctly. So July comes and boom, Amazon sells out. Because you have already had stock in here, you're able to maximize your return and really get in when it's actually selling and Amazon can't compete. Alternatively, what a lot of people do is they'll wait for Amazon to sell out. They'll go, oh, this is a good product to buy. They'll buy the product, they'll send it in. By the time it gets into the center, well, Amazon's back in stock and they have to hold that product for a while. And sometimes Amazon just doesn't go out of stock again for a long time. So this is the first example, a little bit more obviously pattern recognition and slight risk involved here because you're really banking on Amazon going out of stock. And we can take a closer look at this exact Keepa. Again, this is the current situation that Amazon is with this product. They are coming in stock with so few units, they sell out almost immediately. And so this product is consistently selling for $40 every day. This isn't something that you may be able to find retail, but if you did find it retail, this is why it's so worth looking at Keepa, because let's say for some perfect coincidence, you found this at retail for $20 and you found it just at the right time Amazon was in stock. So you scanned it, you look at your app and you say, oh man, Amazon's in stock at $20. This is $20. This does not make any sense to purchase. Or if we just look at Keepa a little bit, we can be like, oh, I bet you Amazon's going to go out of stock. Let's say you bought it right here, and they have a clear track record lately of going out of stock. This is a pretty safe buy, and so you would have missed out if you hadn't looked at the information in front of you. Um, and again, just immediately saying, "Oh, Amazon on the product, I'm not going to compete," would have lost you, or not lost you, but you wouldn't have had the opportunity to make money in that situation. So that's kind of option one as far as when you might want to compete. Option two is when Amazon just shares the buy box. There's definitely a myth out there that once Amazon's in stock, they're not going to share, they're not going to rotate, they're just going to wait to sell out and then you can sell. That is not the case. Amazon routinely shares the buy box. They might not share it as frequently as other sellers, but they definitely share, and it's a little bit dependent on the listing for how often they do. So this is a great example of that. Um, as we can see, Amazon's price is kind of in this orangey color. They are fluctuating pretty heavily with price all the way to close to 100 down to 75, kind of up and down. Something you notice though in here, kind of like that January, mid-January through middle of February, Amazon matched the FBA sellers. So all of these little orange triangles are FBA sellers. And of course, we talked about this was Amazon. Everywhere in here, if you actually had gone to this graph and I didn't like record me doing that, but anywhere in here, if you click any of these little purple icons, you can actually see who owns the buy box at that time. Once the Amazon and third-party sellers met at that price, they started sharing that buy box. So there was a pretty long stint here from late January through middle of February where sellers were able to compete directly with Amazon and get sales even though Amazon was in stock. So it absolutely happens. This one is very up and down. You'll see a lot of charts where Amazon's just solid price all the way through. And if you were to come in at that price, they would just let you sit there and kind of just feed you sales now and then. This one, obviously, in particular, it kind of went up and met them. But there's a reason on this product that there are FBA sellers still listed. As you can see, some were way up here. All these triangles are FBA sellers. So there's a reason that these guys are sitting here and still waiting to sell out the product. You can also go down here and see that the new seller count is going up and down. So, these are listed here and here, right? These are all of our new sellers. The fact that they're going up and down would indicate that they are selling, even though Amazon is slightly lower. So there are lots of ways to tell Amazon is sharing that buy box. The number one way is to just click on the buy box indicator, which is like a purple square. If you click on that, it'll tell you who's in the buy box. A note about the buy box, and I'm sure you read this in the previous guide. It is regional, so just what you see in the buy box doesn't mean that someone else is going to see that exact same thing. And just because Keepa is reporting on a certain buy box doesn't mean that that was the only buy box at the time. But this is a really good indicator that they were sharing when they meet price in the middle. And then kind of the last one, this is a pretty short guide. The last one is Amazon just gets greedy sometimes. So a lot of times you'll see Amazon price something pretty high, stay consistent. And when someone comes in lower than that, they don't even bother to drop down and meet them. So this is a great example. We had Amazon kind of holding the buy box strong, right? We can see that purple line is the buy box. So every time Amazon adjusted, they were always in the buy box, always in the buy box. All of a sudden, we had some new sellers come in right here. They dropped the price almost in half. Amazon stayed up consistent. They're that orange. That buy box, though, follows those new sellers. So because those new sellers were able to come in at such a low price, and Amazon just decided not to fight them, they completely took over the buy box. So if you go to this listing, Amazon's not even rotated in at this point. That third-party seller or that merchant fulfilled seller is completely in control. They're selling all of their units. For all we know, they bought those units for $5 a piece, and they're still making great profit. And they're just not worried about Amazon. And this, you'll see this fairly consistently. That's why when you're outsourcing, if you can get something so cheap, let's say Amazon is always selling it, they've never sold out, they're always at $50, but you can source it for $5, you should not be concerned with Amazon. It doesn't matter if Amazon drops their price in half, you're still more than doubling your money. Amazon will not kill their margins to the point they go down to match you at like $15. And honestly, if they did, my strategy to you would be to buy them out at $15 and then resell it at $50 when they go out of stock. It's just not in their policy to not make money. They'll occasionally drop to break even or a little bit of a loss leader if it means they can get you off the listing, but they generally do not drop more than 50% in price. Again, every listing is slightly different, but if you can get something cheap enough, compete with Amazon all day. If you feel confident that you can come in, compete with Amazon all day. The only thing I would say is you can still 100% try in this case to compete with them at 55. What I would do is match them then. I would not undercut them unless you're going to absolutely just undercut them. So this is 55, maybe go down to 40 and see what happens, see if they go to match you. Otherwise, just meet them at their price and see if they rotate that buy box in and out for you. And I apologize. So again, those are the three ways. So just kind of a recap. Competing against Amazon is absolutely okay. I do it all the time. If you decide to do it, will find success. You just have to be a little choosy. Amazon will share the buy box. Understand how Amazon reacts to third-party sellers. So, use Keepa, say, all right, what happened the last time a third-party seller went against Amazon and dropped their price? Did Amazon go and meet them? what's the lowest price Amazon's ever been in stock at? Can I sell it at that price and still make a profit? Take advantage of Amazon's items consistently selling out. So again, if you see something where there's gaps in the market, see if you can kind of find that gap. And as we just saw, Amazon can be greedy. So it's okay. Amazon just may not want to match you if you can go low enough. And if you're still happy with that profit, take it and run and just keep churning that. So there are some other places where you might be able to kind of find some chinks in Amazon's armor. But these are very easy, very clear, and you'll find plenty of opportunities where all of these line up and you'll be able to take advantage and still compete against Amazon. So you don't have to pass the item on the shelf just because Amazon is selling it. So again, that's everything for today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please do not hesitate to open a ticket, reach out and chat, schedule a one-on-one call. We're here to help you any way we can. It's a pleasure to work with you, and I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about this as you continue on your journey through the modules and just with us in the buy box. So thank you again, guys. Let us know if we can help in any way. I'm Twin, and I'll talk to you later.